Steve Domenico in the Room podcast. We're running a little late today, but it's all my fault as usual. But joining me on the show first tonight is Colin Robinson, my man, the first time on my live podcast, man. Welcome to the show, bro. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing very well. We talked about, just finishing up this camp strong and everything. And then obviously, once again, thank you for having me on live. I'm pumped to be here. And thanks once again, man.
Excellent, my man. Well, the last time we spoke, you were heading to Valor to, I think you had like 6 or 7 opponents before you actually got into that cage. But you head to Tennessee for the second time, and you came away with a finish. And in someone else's ballpark, man. Let's talk a little bit about, how you feeling after that fight since, it's been 2 or 3 months now.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling really good. It was definitely a whirlwind, man, trying to deal with, multiple opponents. But unfortunately, I kind of got adjusted to it early in my first fight, my first amateur fight. There was a lot of speculation of what was going to happen if the guy was going to show up, and then there was a little bit of some miscommunication with him and his team showing up for weigh-in. So he actually missed the ceremonial weigh-in. So we were like, oh man, this guy might have just not shown up or not wanted to fight it. So my coach Ibre actually was, kind of gave me the rundown how it does happen a lot in this sport that guys don't show up, guys miss things, guys just happen. So this one I was a little bit more prepared, but at the same time, going through 7 guys, it was a lot to handle. And 24 hours notice,
Yeah.
It was, it didn't change much because, our game plan was to be offensive on no matter who we were fighting and focus on what we can control and do what we do best. And so it wasn't so much worrying about them, but at the same time, it goes in the back of your head like, oh man, this guy's different. Oh, he's a little longer. Oh, he's got, a little bit more wrestling. So it was definitely a little difficult, but, at the same time, hey, fighters adjust and you just got to adapt to the situation the best you can and believe in your skills. And, you're getting in the cage with someone, anything can happen, accept it, and just keep going.
And here's the amazing thing about it. I mean, not only was it like your 20th opponent in a 24-hour time span, you actually went up an opponent. This guy, I think, was had a bunch of fights. He had a winning record, fought for Valor a few times, man. So, dude, the Valor challenge, man, was twofold here, man. Let's talk about, knowing the opponent you were going against, and did that excite you more that you knew you had a more experienced guy there and you could really get more experience fighting someone like that?
Yeah, absolutely. When we first kind of found the news about who we were going to be fighting, my coach and I threw on the film because luckily the promoter, he had a YouTube link, so we were able to get quick film on him and everything. So, and then as we were watching this film, we were like, okay, he knows what he's doing. We looked up his record, and the end of the day, the guy that was originally going to fight, who it just did not happen. He was 0-0, and unfortunately, it would not have made me a better fighter. I could have gotten a win on my resume, and that would have been great. It's obviously a win's a win, and that looks great on a resume. But this fight was a very good character building moment, and what Coach Ibre teaches in the gym is, you go for the best situation. A great example is Aaron Ortiz in Nationals down in Tennessee. He had the number 1 seed, and a majority of the people are going to say, oh, I'll take number 1 seed. I'll take that. I'll go right to the finals, fight one time, I'm done. Aaron actually dropped down so he could fight one more extra time just because he wanted to be able to fight and get more character, building moments and be able to test himself. So, that's something that Coach Ibre always preaches, and to be able to kind of show it off in an example for not only for myself, for my teammates, and for just the gym and community, it was really big. But, Colton Dunn was a very tough guy, 3-2 at the time. Now he's 3-3, but he was a very tough opponent. He brought everything, and it made me a better fighter. And at the same time, listen, things are going to happen, and you got to be willing to, jump up to those big moments and be ready for that, because you never know when you're going to get a call from what you see with all these MMA fighters. You can be sitting on the couch get one call, and you just got to be ready to take the opportunity and run with it, man.
Definitely. Well, you learned a load of stuff, heading there, man. Your second time heading to Tennessee. You're heading there again, my friend. But before we actually talk about what you're heading there for and your next opponent, man, how have you been training for this? Is there been anything new you've been adding? Because this is as we know, the next fight is your biggest fight of your career, and you're trying to get that experience. So have you added anything? What's been going on with this training camp? It's probably a little more opened up since, COVID has relaxed a little bit with the gyms, man. But, what's been changing, and what have you added anything?
Yeah, so obviously, my main training place is obviously Team Link Muay Thai. And the real nice thing is we have Aaron and Matt Negrati both going next week to Arizona for nationals. So both of them are getting ready, and having Aaron Ortiz as a sparring partner and a drilling partner, and even holding pads for me is, I think he's one of the best partners to probably ever have for anyone. He's unbelievable, and he makes me just bring out that, that side of me that I have to hustle and get ready to bring it. And so having Aaron and Matt, all these guys getting ready for their fights, and I don't know if I can say much, but Mikey's got some news coming soon too. Can't spoil anything, but Mikey's got news coming too, and that guy trains day in, day out. So having those guys around me has been amazing, because they push you when you're tired. And then also we've had Miguel Cuevas has been stopping by every Friday for sparring, so being able to get just good sparring with him. He's a vet, he's crafty, he's very seasoned, so I love always sparring with Miguel. He's been awesome. And then the biggest thing is I've been trying to just dip my toes in everything. Last Thursday I went down and trained with Sean Lally and Tommy Davis, so I was able to get some just trying to sprinkle in, just get everything in, and get basically any type of work that I can, and kind of just pick the brains of these guys that have been around in the New England MMA for a long time and everything. So it's been awesome, but nothing crazy with changes, just training at Team Link, preparing the best we can, and getting ready for this fight. So yeah, it's nothing crazy new, but we're coming, we're prepared, and very excited.
Excellent. Well, traveling to Lally and getting some work with Tommy, because them are big dudes, man. Them guys are, your weight. Them guys fight, around your weight, man. So that's great getting work in there. So you've definitely added some arsenals to your game, man. Getting some, getting some work from them guys, and great guys, and have the knowledge of MMA that can really, boost you in there, man. So we're heading to Tennessee again, my friend. Where are we going? With Chattanooga. Where were you? Where were you last time?
Knoxville.
So you guys are hitting every corner in Tennessee, man.
Yeah. So Chattanooga is Knoxville was the one where Aaron Hughes fought as well.
Okay.
So we both fought at Cotton Eye Joe, which is kind of like the bar area arena. This one is in Chattanooga at Camp Jordan, which is more of a bigger arena and everything.
Good.
So
Colin, they're taking the chicken wire off the cage, right? There's no chicken wire around the cage.
Yeah. So
I was busting Aaron's chops about that, yeah, because it was, going into hostile territory, and people are going to be lit up. I'm saying, not saying anything about Valor. They're a great organization, but we were just having fun with it, thinking people were going to throw bottles because Aaron was coming in from, Fall River, going into hostile territory. Yeah. But they put on a great show, man. You go in there the third time. Now, now here's another challenge. You're going to another place in Tennessee. You're driving, another 16 hours. Yeah. But now you have a title challenge on your hands now. I don't think anyone's going to be backing out of this fight. I think it's kind of set in stone. Are you fighting the current champ, or is this an open weight title?
No, yep. So this is an open weight title fight. They did have a champion for a little while, but he actually then turned pro, I believe, about 2 months ago. So the title was actually so it's up for grabs. I'm fighting Tristan Scarborough. He actually recently, his last fight, he fought for the 205-pound belt, and so he's coming down the 185. So he's a very tough opponent. So we're expecting his A game, and like you said, I believe, he's set in stone and he wants to fight for this title and everything. So I don't think I have to worry too much about a last second opponent. But if it does happen, it happens. You got to be prepared.
Excellent, my man. So, what's his, how long's he been at it? What's his, did you say his record? I didn't catch it. Because I tried to look up your fight on Tapology to get some information, but they hadn't put it up yet, and I didn't have a chance to really check him out, and I'm sure he's all over Tapology. What do you know about him as far as his record and his style?
Yeah, so he's obviously a bigger guy. He was on the fight card that I fought on last, but obviously he was the main event for the 205-pound belt. He's obviously a little bit of a bigger guy. He played football. He has like an athletic build. He's definitely a little bit more of a light-footed 205-pounder. So we definitely expecting him to be like that. He's 3-1. His first ever fight was at 185 pounds, and then the rest were at 205. I'm not sure if that was just due to wanting to bulk up and not have to cut as much weight. And now he realizes that maybe it was a little too much. He wasn't as strong at 205. So we're not sure, but that's something that I don't really care about. All I know is he's coming down to 185 pounds, and he better be ready for better be ready for it, because we're bringing it. And he's a tough guy, but I'm a tough guy as well, and so really step in the cage and see who's the better man that night.
Excellent. Well, Aaron Hughes is on, making saying the place was dope where he fought. I mean, Aaron had a ball, man. We had a ball talking about it. I'm sure, you might have messaged him. You guys might have talked since he was heading down there, man. Did you happen to catch Aaron's fight? I think I posted it, and he's been posting it, man. But what'd you think of it? And, his first pro fight, because you're going to be there someday, and it could be for Valor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, so it's actually funny. When I saw they posted for Valor, I was like, oh, man, finally you got someone else going down to Tennessee. And I saw on one time I came across the social media, and I remember he tagged 8 organizations in a post hey, I'm looking for a fight, and I was like, oh man, this guy wants it. I was I wonder if he'll ever reach out to Valor.
Yeah.
And so I saw that he ended up getting a fight, and so I reached out telling him all about the arena, how everything kind of works and everything, and also how great Valor really is, because they do a phenomenal job of making sure that the fighters are comfortable, making sure that the fighters are ready, and that everything runs smooth. And so, I reached out to him, let him know how kind of the rundown was. And then, I did watch this fight. Man, it's Cotton Joe, watching Cotton Joe fights from kind of because every time I watch him, I'm there. I'll usually be, out around cage side or near the cage, just watching them, my fights and stuff, just to kind of relax and loosen up. But man, watching on the TV, it was really cool to be able to see not only a New England fighter, but a Massachusetts guy go in there in Tennessee and pull out a really, really good win. That was an awesome fight, just because he got tested and then also just powered right through, and he looked awesome. And so it was really cool to be able to see him win his first pro fight.
Excellent, man. Yeah, New England's bringing it. The younger guys and girls, ladies are going around the country, jumping onto other cards, man. So let's go back to your opponent real quick, man. You mentioned he's a football player, or was a football player. So you guys got something in common here. You were a football player. You got into the martial arts game, I think, a little later. After your football career. So something in common with this guy. So you might have something to talk about. I'm sure the camaraderie between you two is going to be pretty, casual, and, no need to, you know what I mean? You guys might pal it up after the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. What? By the way, he carried himself last time at weigh-ins. He wasn't like that guy that's getting in your face, pulling a Jeremy Stevens and pushing you and giving concussions. He's not that type of guy. He's very relaxed. But yeah, I have nothing but respect for him. I'm very thankful that he's taking this fight, because you start to get to the point where it's harder to find fights, it's harder to find matchups, and so I applaud him for taking this fight. I really appreciate it. And also, he's going to make me a better fighter at the end of the day. So, it's a win-win, and I'm definitely excited to share the cage with him.
Excellent, Colin. As you were talking about that, I was flashing some of your football picks. You actually played rugby too, right? Like
Yeah.
you played all them violent, knock someone in the jaw out kind of sports. So MMA, mixed martial arts, man, is right in your ball game, brother. So, from the beginning, of course, you're gonna, get better and better. But, from that first fight till now, what is the biggest thing you think you've learned? I know we haven't gotten that cage yet, but man, it's been a while. I mean, you learn a lot between fights, man. What do you think is the biggest thing you've learned, since that first fight and this one coming up?
I would say probably the biggest thing that I've learned is just be patient. Patience wins. You don't have to go out there and take the guy down immediately. That's one thing that I truly do love about training at a Muay Thai gym with all these Muay Thai guys is, they're not, it's not right away. We're coming guns blazing. It's patient, it's timed, it's, calculated, it's smooth. And, Coach Ibre really, really does a great job of holding pads, of, basically making sure that we're nice and controlled. We're always, being patient, making sure we're doing things. And so my last fight, I was able to be much more patient. And, by the second round, he was gassed and I was just getting ready to go. So I think being more comfortable, having patience, and, being confident in not only my wrestling, but also in my striking. Because my first fight, as you know, in this MMA world, you have NCAA champions that can't, for some reason, get a double leg, but they put on wrestling shoes. They'll be able to get double legs all day. If getting punches thrown at them, it might throw things off. And so, my first fight, I was a little nervous about just trying to be able to get someone down. And once I got that accomplished and I got the guy out, my second fight, I was like, man, I want to be able to see what I can do on the feet. And last time I was able to get hit and I was able to respond punches and then eventually get it down. But basically patience and, basically being confident in my own skills. You gotta be confident in your own skin, be comfortable.
Excellent, my man. Well, it's early in the year. Not to get ahead of ourselves, but you're going to try to get in that cage as much as you can. Is that your goal for 2021? Is to get as much cage time? And I mean, you jumped in to this, this career a little later in the game, but looking at a lot of MMA fighters, they have been getting into their MMA career later in in their sports career, and they're fresh. You know what I mean? They haven't gone through a lot of the battles and stuff like that, and they're sponges. And being athletic as yourself and being with all these people, man. You're a big commodity right now. At that 185-pound class for New England, man. But what are you looking for? Like, what is this something you want to do as your profession, is to become a professional MMA fighter, or what is it? What's your goal here?
Oh, absolutely. Listen, if you're not in this to be a professional and be the best that you can be and be the best that you strive day in, day out to be, then you shouldn't be doing this sport. I 100% want to be a professional. I want to do this for the rest of my life. I enjoy every second of it. Even some days when you come home, you're like, man, I got roughed up today. I always like to call my brother or call my girlfriend and be like, man, I got a nice slice of humble pie today, because some days are humbling, but those are the days that you sit back like, man, I got better today from that. Last Friday, same thing, Aaron Ortiz, man, Aaron just lit me up, and I just remember leaving just like, man, today was a tough one, but I love everything about the sport, and I am 100% going all in on this. Obviously I still work. I work part-time right now. But, I still work just to be able to keep bills. I still have student loans to pay. But, I'm fully focused on this. And, I give this day in, day out, everything I got. And, there's no regrets. I don't want to be, in my later 40s, 50s saying, I wish I trained a little harder. I could put a little more time into it. Imagine if I did that. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to go full throttle into this thing. So, yes, a pro career is 100% what I'm looking at for sure.
Excellent, my man. Is Muay Thai is always there too, man. You're in the right gym. I mean, you could jump back and forth. I mean, but if you're an MMA fighter, that's got to be your focus. I mean, you can't be jumping in other things at that point. But man, all the power to you, bro. Doing good things, great things, getting an amateur title fight in another state. After your third time in there, man, that's a big big to do early in your career, man. So congratulations. A couple more questions, man. We got some time before this fight's happening. Dude, what's training like now? Is it like you said, it's full throttle and Aaron's kind of kicking your ass right now. When does it start to die down? When do you start to how long before the fight do they stop beating the shit out of you and kind of like, let your body rest up and get ready for to beat this guy up?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, luckily, Aaron and Matt Negrati and Coach are leaving next Tuesday. Next Wednesday for nationals, so I'll have a little bit. I'll have like 3 days off of being able to just train with and be able to get pad work in with a few other coaches and everything. But I won't have to worry about Aaron on sparring Friday. But Friday, this upcoming Friday, I know he's gonna bring it because he's got one more week left of hard training. But so I'm excited for that. But yeah, usually, to be honest, I can't tell you when we will stop going hard, when we will not, because Coach Ebrey does a fantastic job of keeping you on your toes. He doesn't want you to know what to expect. My first fight, I didn't. My last sparring session was the Wednesday of the fight, so I fought Saturday and we sparred hard on Wednesday. And my last fight, I stopped the Friday before, so and give myself another whole week to rest. So he doesn't really put kind of like a stamp on when we're going to stop, when we're going to like slow it down. He does a great job of monitoring everything. And if he feels that you're not ready yet, you need a little bit more rounds in, we're going to get more rounds in. So, it's actually something I really like because from what I've seen with a lot of guys, and just doing a lot of research because, I love the sport. When you start controlling your own schedule, that's when maybe things start getting out of hand for you and you start missing key things because you can control like, oh, I'm good. That's set. I think that's actually a really good thing that's out of my hands. I show up and I train. He tells me we're doing 100 kicks. We're doing 100 kicks. We're doing no kicks. We're doing no kicks. So, unfortunately, I don't have an answer to that. But, Coach does a great job of making sure that our bodies are rested and as well as our minds, too.
Excellent, my man. Great coach. Great things coming out of that gym. It's proof in the pudding right there that Ebrey's doing great things in there. All the coaches, all the players in that gym are helping each other out and making each other great, dude. Last thing, my friend, before I let you go, any shout outs, any thank yous, anything you want to throw out there before I let you go? Maybe you and I will have a one-on-one down the line, maybe a week out from the fight. But we'll see. I might leave you alone and let you go because I know you'd be getting tortured when Ebrey comes back from the tournament there. So let it all go, man. It's the floor is yours right now.
All right, cool. But huge shout outs to Team Link, to Coach Ebrey, to Mikey. Big things are coming for him. That guy's awesome to be able to watch a pro train like that day in, day out and just, never stop and never complain. The guy's, I've never heard him complain once. He's unbelievable. He's an awesome leader to have at our gym. Another big shout out to Aaron Ortiz. Aaron makes me better every single time. He pushes me. He gets on me hard, and so I really appreciate that. Matt Negrati, he's coming for nationals. It's his first time fighting for the national tournament, so he's gonna be bringing it. I'm expecting big things from him, and then everyone else at the gym. Thank you so much. You guys make me better. Big shout out to my mom. I love you, Mom. Big shout out to my brother. Love you, big bro. See you this weekend for the fights. Shout out to everyone, back at home to always supporting me. Thank you, everyone. I can't wait. It's going to be a fun fight, and I'm ready. And once again, thank you for having me tonight, man. I appreciate it. I love being able to come on the show and everything. And then, shout out to New England MMA. We're making more moves. We got Rob Font coming. Tom Pags looks like he's got something coming too. Hillary Rose with the unreal win as well. So, New England MMA is really doing big things. And then also, it wasn't obviously the result that he was looking for, but watching Nick Alley fight, for Cage Fury, that was awesome as well. It's awesome to be able to see these guys represent New England MMA at, the high levels and everything. So it's just inspiring. It's very inspiring. So, shout out to everyone and, let's get this win, bring home this belt from Massachusetts and keep it going.
Excellent, my man. Well, you're in great company, bro. All them names you mentioned are great fighters, and they're really representing New England well. So, my man, Colin Robinson, fighting May 15th. It's a Saturday night. Fighting for the Valor Fighting Challenge middleweight amateur title in Chattanooga, Tennessee, man. We'll all be watching, brother. We'll be, cheering you on, man. And, good luck. Have a great rest of your training camp. And I appreciate your time tonight, man. And we'll catch up definitely soon, my man.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Have a good night.
You too.
Awesome. That was cool. Colin is a fucking awesome dude. So we are going to have Blaine Shutt on very soon. Let me just make sure. All right. Everyone's sending me friend requests. I don't know if anyone knew, but I was banned for like 3 days, and then from Facebook, and I came on for like a day and a half and got banned again. And the reason why I got banned was because I put the fight ending of Jake Paul and Ben Askren. So before I get to Blaine, I just want to do, what do I got up here? Oh, well, Colin, before he left, was talking about all these fighters that are doing well and getting great opportunities around the country. Before I have Blaine on, I would just like to get this poster up of this is huge. Mitch Raposo and Cameron Lachinov are both on the Ultimate Fighting Tough Series 29. They are probably in Vegas right now, starting filming. I don't know when filming starts, but as soon as you see Mitch or don't see Mitch or Cameron on social media, that means they're in Vegas, because as soon as they stop posting, they are under lock and key, and they are filming the show, and they are trying to become the Ultimate Fighter 29 season winners, man. This is fucking huge. We have 2 New England fighters on the show the same fucking time. Cameron is usually a welterweight. He is fighting in the middleweight class, which is a fucking huge. For them to take Cameron, who is a 170-pounder, and he's moving up in class, and to put him on the show, that just shows you that the caliber of fighter he is. Mitch Raposo, 5-0. The dude has been killing people since the dude has not lost a round in his amateur or pro career. This dude is meant for the UFC and the top elite in there, and it will come. Mitch Raposo and Cameron Lachinov heading to Tough Season 29. They're probably there already. If anyone watched Mitch had his little interview with some of the media for MMA Junkie and stuff like that, asking him about the opportunity. And let me tell you, that dude sounds like a fucking seasoned pro when that kid talks. He's been in the podcast a million times. He's been in here in this room with his regiment training center. Training partners, Aaron, Kelts, all them guys, they've been in here. And Mitch has been nothing but a pro, in and out of the cage. The kid is meant to be a champion. And congratulations, Mitch and Cameron, on that show. Cameron, too. Cameron had Fight of the Year for Bellator last year in Big John's eyes. And that's huge. Huge. He came away with a loss in that fight, but he actually, look at the fight. Look at the fight. So one more thing. Here we go. One last thing before I call Blaine. One more minute. I just want to throw this up because Enigma Jiu-Jitsu is sold out. Their card is sold out. It is happening in June. I will be there. I will be announcing winners, I don't know, or something like that. June 5th, the Enigma Jiu-Jitsu Absolute Tournament is sold out. The only way you can watch it now is if you subscribe to I can't think of their channel, regionalcombatsports.com. I think I nailed it. To watch these fights. New England Northeast Combat Sports is also hugely involved. Christos Papadelos, he's the man in charge here. The kid is fucking not even legally old enough to drink, and he's got his own fucking business running absolute tournaments, combat jiu-jitsu, and he's actually in the tournament. Well, he's in a super fight, so huge for him. So let me tell Blaine right now. I'll be calling him. Ready? Hopefully this works. But if you didn't know, Blaine, the Shuttdown Shutt, is fighting for Bellator MMA. June 7th, Mohegan Sun. Bellator 258. There he is right now. But before I have him on, actually, I am gonna play the New England Northeast video for the tournament. So let me play that while I call Blaine.
Saturday, May 8th, NE Combat Sports presents the 2021 Boston Open. 5 submission-only tournaments. Cash prizes for fight of the night and submission of the night. And finally, the rematch fans have been begging for between Chris Scott and Uncle Bobby McCarran. Available on demand next day on Regional Combat Sports.
I'll introduce you. All right, hold on. Where is he? Where's the guest capture? There he is. Blaine, the Shuttdown Shutt. Blaine, let me get your text up here so everyone can follow you on Instagram and all that other stuff if they have not already, because you are a popular fighter on social media, brother, and that is only because you produce. Not only because you produce in the cage, but you do marvelous things for the wrestling community and etc., man. So, brother, congratulations, my friend. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you very much, bro. I'm excited. Super excited.
Dude, it's been a long time, man. Fighting tooth and nail just to get a fight. And, now it's coming, and it's for Bellator, man. Let's talk about it and how you feeling about the opportunity.
I'm blessed. It was getting to a point where it was, I didn't know if it was ever going to come, It almost felt like I was getting forced into retirement. Nobody wanted to fight me anywhere. No promotion wanted to match me up because nobody in any promotion was willing to fight me, at least at my weight class. So it was getting very scarce, and I'm definitely willing to go up in weight, but I want paid for it. I've said that before, and nobody else was willing to pay me for the matchups that they wanted me to go up to in a weight class for, let alone if I even did accept it, which I'm not going to throw any names out there promotion-wise. They backed out of doing it even up at a weight class above. So, that being said, outside of coming up in a weight class, obviously I would do it in a heartbeat and a snap of a finger for either the UFC or Bellator. And Bellator eventually pulled through and pulled the trigger and decided to give me that shot, and I'm going to make it the best fucking decision they ever made in their life for that promotion.
Excellent, man. And what a fucking shot you got. Bellator 258, a huge card, man. Did you think you could have got on this card with just how deep it is and just all the players that are fighting on it? Did you think there was an opportunity, or was this just like kind of a rabbit in the hat and rubbing the genie lantern, and then all of a sudden Blaine gets a call, the Bellator?
At first I didn't even really take notice of the card. It was more or less just me talking to Lars at Full Contact Management about, we just need to get a fucking fight and a story. And he literally was even blasting on social media, calling everybody the fuck out to fight me, and absolutely nobody, for the multiple times he did that, replied and said nothing. None of those pussy ass 25-pounders out there in the whole fucking world, let alone country, wanted some. So finally, the trigger got pulled with Bellator, and I looked at that card and I said, holy shit, especially because originally they reached out to me to fight that Carlos guy that Cupcakes is fighting.
Yeah.
And I was all about that, but after talking with the Full Contact Management, Lars and all them, as bad as I wanted it and as bad as I really wanted to be on the show, with where I'm at right there about to break through, whether it was going to be UFC or Bellator, that wasn't a smart move for me to do. We don't want to be a one and done and blow our load. We want to get there, make our name, and establish something. So he convinced me that we should have passed on it. and that just being patient and eventually it would come. And I mean, I grit my teeth, and it really upset me at first. And I remember us turning it down, and I messaged him the next day, especially after Cupcakes took it, and I sat down there after fucking took it. And he just reminded me. He's like, no, man. He's like, we made the smart move. Just be patient. And literally the next day, came at me with another opponent's name, and he's like, we got this. We're getting this as a better opponent. This is even more money than I was getting offered for the last fight, and it's going to allow me to knock off another huge name in the world of MMA and establish me as one of the best in the world and one of the top tier promotions in the world.
Excellent. Well, you talked about, we can't talk about the opponent because it's still, the contract is signed, everything's set, but Bellator hasn't released that yet. But dude, this is an opponent that could blast you into that, a contract with Bellator or, even bigger things for you, man. Is this the fight you've been waiting for, the matchup, even though, no, let's leave it there. Is this the kind of matchup you've been looking for?
I think that this is in a fucking perfect matchup for me. I mean, we're both, we style clash each other very well. That's going to make this an extremely interesting fight. Like me being the wrestler, him being the grappler. It's almost like a me and Lopez fight again, but this time there's going to be no cap on this. Like, this shit's going to get blown off, and one of us ain't walking out of there.
So, my man, it's been a while since you won that CES flyweight, the first one ever, man. Was there anything, full contact management? Of course, they contacted CES, but, CES hasn't been able to get you a fight, and it's probably because what you talked about, nobody wants to step up, man. But, what's their thought? It seems like they're excited about you getting some big eyes on you, and, you still have that belt that represents them, so it's kind of giving them some eyes on them also.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I love being the CES champ. There was a couple things that I was a little upset and disappointed about, like them giving somebody a specific fight and not matchmaking them with me. And then ultimately they end up getting in the Ultimate fucking Fighter when it should have been me, because he should have been coming off an L from me. But no, he got to be able to get the pass go for free bullshit card and get away from me without having any fucking penalties to pay. Realistically, though, I was the one that ended up having to pay those penalties being the champion, which I felt like me being the champion should have gotten the what's the word I'm looking for? The first go, the first attempt at it, right? But I felt like they pushed him over me, which, I get it. Like, I was never meant to be their champion. They brought me in because they didn't know how good I really was. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to tidy up somebody else's diaper and push them into the UFC. But I corrupted all that, and I destroyed it, and I crumbled it, and I let them know that I'm the new face of that show and took over New England MMA. I mean, I'm not even from there, but everybody treats me like I'm family now. I run that joint as my home now. I love all you guys, my MMA news, all that shit. New England MMA. Everybody disguised me as from there. I'm number one there. I'm number two in PA, and that's where the fuck I live. So I love it. I just, like I said, I'm just a little upset that I didn't get the push that I felt like I deserved. But you know what? I got the next best thing, if not a better thing, situation out of it. Just believing in God's plan, and I mean, I don't know what all went into the UFC selecting who they selected, but I mean, I put in my resume and all that other stuff like that to be on that show, and he got picked over me for whatever the hell reason it was. I mean, congrats to him. I'm sure, like you said, I know you like him. I heard you fanboying out before you did me a call.
Fuck you. That's my boy. I love Mitch. Mitch and I know Mitch. Mitch, my man.
Look, I got you. Look, this is a fight game. Look, outside of a cage and outside of what's mine, me and him can be friends. We can shake hands, we can train, we can share a beer, bro. We can share a girl for all I care. But when it comes to business and making money and what's mine is mine, that fight game is mine, and that was mine. So that's where it all comes into play. Like I said, I'm cool with anybody. But when it comes to business, I don't fucking play around, and I truthfully feel like I got wronged, and, whatever. Good for him. I mean, the grudge in me wants him to get his ass whooped because I want him to drop out and I want him to come fight me. But if that happens, that means that I didn't do my job at Bellator. So I'm actually rooting for both of us to do our thing. I hope he makes it. I hope he does whatever the hell he does, promotes right. Me doing my thing for Bellator, that I'm looking to get my contract. But you best believe if anything falls through, things don't go the right way for either of us or both of us, I'm fucking gunning for him.
Awesome, my man. Well, a couple of more questions. I know, you're just getting out of training. You're, this isn't an ideal fight camp for you. I mean, it's, kind of very late notice, but, you don't have to really cut weight and stuff like that. But, dude, how's,
Fuck no, dude. I ain't cut weight. I mean, I'm sitting here eating fucking...
Masvidal, you got a cheeseburger in there?
Starbucks, I got me, I was like,
So, my man... what do we got? 2.5 weeks here, man. Dude, it's crunch time. How's the body feeling? Of course, you're gonna say great, but how's it feeling? How you feeling? And it's been a long time since you jumped in that cage. How's everything feeling for you? And you ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to go. I'm gonna be as prepared as I can possibly be with the short time frame that I got. It's true what they say. The call can come at any minute. You just got to stay ready. I think I stayed ready to the best of my capability, of being such a long layoff of constant letdowns and disappointments of fights not happening and people saying things and then just constantly getting turned down. There were times where I was like, fuck this, and I'm done. And there was times where I was like, all right, screw it. I'm just going to grind through it and get through these points and stay ready. And then something happens again where it just like a fight gets turned down or a missed opportunity, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing this for? And I take a break off, and then as soon as I take this break off and haven't trained for a couple weeks, an opportunity comes back up, and it's like, wow, of course it comes now, but fuck it. I wasn't missing this opportunity to all. I can be ready in a fucking 2-week fight camp. This is 3 rounds. I've been doing 5 rounds for years. Half the time, nobody even gets past 1 fucking round with me. So, I'm excited about this. I'm excited to put on a show. I'm excited to get the job done and get that paper, come out with another contract, and establish myself in a huge promotion where I feel like I've deserved to be in for quite some time now.
Excellent, my man. Well, one more question before I let you give your shout-outs. One of your old training partners, and maybe, down the line, might get some cross-training with him again.
If you bring up Tony and our goddamn...
You brought it up. You brought it up.
Go ahead. Put on your Tony
Dude.
shirt now. You took off your Mitch.
I love Tony. Dude, I interviewed Tony for the first time since I think, right before he was getting on the Contender Series, man. Kudos to that dude, man. You guys, friends, training partners there, man. He wished you well when he found out, you got that Bellator fight, man. What's going on, man? You guys from that area, man, you're getting it done. How you feeling about Tony? And, did he give you a little pep talk and say, I'm going to see you, by the end of the year here in the UFC, bro?
Yeah, he's super excited for me. He's super proud of me. And, and then I reached out to him and I'm like, hey man, you're going to come corner me for this, whatnot. And he was all about it. He really wanted to. And he looks over at Kayla and goes, hey, can we go corner Blaine? And she's like, no, we're going to go to Disney World instead. So, he deserves it. He would have been there for me. Absolutely. I'm especially proud of what he's doing. But yeah, he's going to take the family to Disney World after that last win and that another fight bonus, Tony's doing it up. I'm super proud of him myself. I know he's proud of me. He's one of my best friends. We talk a lot. I constantly leave messages on his phone if he doesn't answer. But I'm telling you, when you had him on and I found out, I was like, why the fuck was I not on there with him? Bro, that would have been probably the most lit freaking podcast that you've ever had.
Well, we'll do that in the future, my friend. Definitely in the future, we'll get you both on.
It'll be a good time. And then apparently he was talking about coming down to 25, and I nipped that in the bud real fucking quick. I said, bring your ass down here. I will tickle your ass to submission. It ain't about it. But no, on some real shit, if Tony were to go down to 25, that'd be some scary shit for some people that in a division that I'm not involved in.
He's got some options, my man. So last thing, my friend. Last 2 things before I let you give your shout outs. Who's going to be cornering you? Who's going to be heading to helping you out? At Bellator this time.
It's going to be my home gym. So normally within my last couple fight camps, I've been flying out to California and training at AKA with those guys. As soon as I got this call, I instantly hit up DC and I asked about going out there and finishing my camp with him and whatnot. And I mean, I was welcomed arms wide open. So I would have been out there with Crutchmer and Pincinini and all them. But after talking with my coaches here at home, with the short notice, we felt like it really wasn't that great of an idea to do, especially with my corners being my hometown coaches and stuff like that. Going in here, a game plan is going to be extremely crucial, and we don't want to just freelance fight this and go on a whim. This is the biggest opportunity of my life, and we really need to go in here with a game plan and stick with it. And going out to California, as much as I love the team there and everybody at AKA and the incredible training I get there, it's just too loose-ended on a game plan of what I need to do. So the smarter decision was I'm going to just stay here, train personally with my boxing coach, train personally with my BJJ coach, and my striking and all that other stuff like that. So I'll have my boxing coach, Manny Rose. I'll have my BJJ and striking instructors, Ben Moser and Matthew Rizzo, who's a Bellator and UFC vet himself. He was also in the Ultimate Fighter back when they did the flyweight division. They were my corners for my Sean Santella fight, which was really like the turning point in my career of me finally pulling the trigger and being able to perform at my capability that I really was, considering I had like a governor on my whole fight career beforehand. You know, like that was like really the career defining moment for me of finding out who I am as a fighter. You know, and how I transitioned into this game to being the best. You know, and I'm super excited about this. I'm excited with my corners. You know, it's going to be a great time. We're just going to take the most out of this and hopefully perform at the best of my capability and get a contract out of it, even at 35. I mean, it's a lot of bulking up. Because like you said, you know, I am a 25-pounder. I walk around at this weight class, you know. So, but, I mean, for months now, I knew if a call was going to come, it could have been at 35, and I was going to take it. So I've been training my body and lifting heavy to adjust to accommodate the difference between the 25 and 35 pound difference weight class divisions. So I mean, besides, like, this isn't my first time fighting at 35 either, so I can hold myself as one of the best at 35 or 25. So
excellent, my man. Well, the confidence is there, as it should be, my friend. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and yeah, I'm a fanboy of yours too. You know that. You know how I talk to you on the message.
Goddamn Carol Baskin.
All right, my man. There's some surprises coming out for you. Lars is working. Lars and Travis are working hard behind the scenes, getting stuff ready for you to make this Bellator debut. So a lot of big things are going to be coming out in the next 2 weeks, supporting you and, you know, getting the eyes on you, my man. So all the power to you, man. It's been a long time, and congratulations on finally getting a very well-deserved opportunity here.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Just quick shout out, Lars, seriously, bro, thank you so much. I know when you first reached out to me and stuff, I was a little distant and skeptical. I wasn't really sure where I was at with my career and what I wanted to do. I also want to thank my ex-manager, Perry Gibson, down at Tech MMA, where I first met Tony and the family down there that I had that got me to become the CES champ that I was. I definitely appreciate being part of that family and everything that you've done for me. I know that, like, you probably would have appreciated being a part of this, but, like, something needed to change and nothing was going on. And, you know, Lars stepped in, full contact management. You know, they fucking made a promise to me to get me to the next step. And you know what? They did it. So I'm super appreciative of it. Super appreciative of everybody that's done anything for me to get to this point. You know, it's been a long time coming that I had a lot of haters, especially in my family, you know, like, being like, well, when are you gonna stop fighting? You can't do this the rest of your life, and like, are you gonna make it? Like, you've been fighting for so long now, and it seemed to them like it was never gonna happen. But I knew I was there. I knew I had the skill set, and I had the backup and the full contact management that believed in me, and my training partners, everything that kept me pushing forward to finally getting that chance. You know, and I'm not gonna let anybody down. I'm gonna run with this. And I'm going to get that mic at the end of the fight, and I'm going to tell my baby girl to go to bed, and I love her, and hopefully walk out that cage and get a contract.
Excellent, my man. Well, there you have it. Blaine, the Shutdown Shutt, man, making his Bellator debut at Bellator 258. Opponent to be named later. We have an article that is ready to be pushed and sent out with all the information on it. We just can't do it till Bellator gives us the word. But it's fire, and make sure you share the fuck out of it because we got to support this fight because it's huge, huge for Mr. Champ, Blaine, the Shutdown Shutt, my man. Welcome and thank you. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming on, man. I know it's crunch time. I know a bunch is going on, but I want to get you sooner than later and let you focus on this fight. So, Blaine, thank you so much for everything that, all the time you give me and, all the fun in these chats we have.
No, absolutely, brother. I appreciate you. I love being on the show. Fucking hilarious. We always fucking run it up. So one of these days, I'm going to have to actually drive out there and sit next to you.
We'll do it. We'll do it sometime.
But yeah, man, I appreciate everything so much. Thanks for having me on.
All right, my man. You have a good night, and we'll talk soon, bro.
Yes, sir. Later.
All right. Fucking awesome. Fucking Aaron, it's the fight game, man. All right. Blaine, the Shutdown Shutt. That was awesome, man. Great show. Colin Robertson fighting May 7th. The world gets put on notice. So we got a bunch of shit going on for Blaine. Travis and Laz are working hard behind the scenes. I don't know if I think shirts might be being made for purchase. Blaine's got a fucking fan base and a half. He's doing great things in MMA, which we haven't seen in over a year. But he's also got his wrestling camp and all that stuff he is doing for the youth in the wrestling program and everything he's doing. Man, the guy's a good kid. He's very confident and he's hungry to fight, man. And that it is what it is. So last thing before I go, because it has been the topic of the last few days, well, for the last fucking 2 weeks, and it did shut me down on Facebook for 3 days. Where is it? Oh, there it is right there. I'm just going to throw this up here. You can hate me, but last thing, who's next for Jake Paul? People, and I think the fight was rigged, and I think Ben Askren took a dive. Not that he would have won the fight. I think he probably would have got tuned up anyway, but I thought that was a phantom punch. It did connect pretty good, but no, fuck that. So I'm taking Stevie Wonder. I'm taking Stevie Wonder against Jake Paul next. I don't know about you, but I will have a poll out on my Ambassador Fighters page and my Instagram page on who you'll take it next. I like the Steven Seagal matchup also. Ronda Rousey, she just got knocked up, so she is out of opportunities here. She is having a baby boy, I do believe. Conor Jr. might have long necks in there too. It's fucking awesome. So with that said, last thing I'm gonna play the Enigma tournament video that has happened in June that I will be a part of. It's sold out. No soup for you. And then we're out of here. Next week, I'm not sure who I have on. I forgot. I think I do have someone on. I just forgot who the hell it is. With that said, we out of here, people. Bye.
Saturday, May 8th, NE Combat Sports presents the 2021 Boston Open. 5 submission-only tournaments. Cash prizes for fight of the night and submission of the night. And finally, the rematch fans have been begging for between Chris Scott and Uncle Bobby McCarran. Available on demand next day on regionalcombatsports.com.